There is an old saying, money is the root of all of my happiness in college football. It's time to beat the books. This is Locked On Big 12.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Locked On Big 12. I'm Drake Toll from America's #1 Big 12 podcast. That is Locked On Big 12. Thank you for making this show your first listen every single day. The show says, could Nick Saban make his return to football and do it at a Big 12 school? That's possible, no doubt, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about Beat the Books. Today is Locked On Big 12's segment brought to you by FanDuel about how you can beat the books and win yourself money in college football this weekend. Here are my best bets. If you hit subscribe, I get to keep my job. If you're listening on audio, the wrong background was on the screen. I fixed it. Best bet number one, Los BYU Cougars. Vamos Cougs. Vamos Pumas at UCF. And they're underdogs? For sake of simplicity, I'm going to tell you BYU plus 1.5, but I am going to pick BYU to win this game. Drake, trap game. How do we call it a trap game when Las Vegas has UCF winning? Oh, they're going to overlook the... No. Like if UCF was a 17-point underdog, I'd be like, oh, shoot. Will BYU, trip? They're not going to. Here's why I think BYU wins. Analytics, 83% chance of victory. I knocked on the microphone and now my dog is barking. Great. 35-22 is the projected score in this one. BYU to beat UCF. UCF, 110th in the country on third and fourth down success defensively. That's how we say bad. 75th in the nation, EPA against the drop back. Also not very good. Jake Retzlaff, as we know now, is very good. BYU defensively, 18th against the rush, 6th against the drop back. You can stop barking. He's a very big BYU Cougars fan. I love BYU this week. My first bet of the week in our Big 12's best bets. Give me BYU to win at UCF. I don't see the Knights. I mean, they're good, but I'm not going to let one little sample from last week determine UCF is better than BYU. He's very aggressively. Are you excited by that pick? Is that what that is over there? Less of that, please. Okay. My second best pick, Kansas State minus 10 against Kansas at home this week. I think the Wildcats. All I did was to tap the microphone a couple times. Little to no, send the guy into a frenzy. His name's Bear for Baylor. Kansas State minus 10 against Kansas. I really don't like this Kansas team. While I was so high on them in the preseason, I am smitten. Is that the right word? Did they spite me? I'm spitting. I don't think I'm using any of the right words here. Give me Kansas State. Projected score of this one, 37-20. 37-20. Why do the analytics say that? Why do they say that? Because Kansas, honestly, offensively, isn't awful. 44th in the rush, 66 in the pass. So that's middle of the pack in college football. It shouldn't be 2 and 5. But Kansas State defensively, 15th against the rush, 19th against the pass. That's good. Kansas State offensively, 9th running the football, 15th throwing the football in efficiency. Kansas defensively, 73rd and 82nd respectively. That's how we say bad. And nail in the coffin. You ready? Kansas, 114th defensively on third and fourth down. They cannot get off the field on defense. Kansas State, much better team in the Sunflower Showdown. This game is in Manhattan. Give me Kansas State all day. Texas Tech at TCU. Why is TCU favored by 6.5 points here? Can someone please explain to me TCU beat a hapless Utah team who fired its offensive coordinator and benched its quarterback. Ooh, spooky, scary. Happy October. Texas Tech final score projection, according to the analytics, 34-31, Tech over TCU. I think this one does end up being high scoring because TCU's defense is so bad. 79th against the rush, 88th against the pass, efficiency-wise. Andy Avalos for you. Congrats. And Tech can throw the football. Guess what? Tech is actually pretty good analytically defensively, too. Though they didn't display that against Baylor, and Baron Morton throwing those interceptions was kind of a bit of a thing for Texas Tech last week that didn't help them very much. And their defense is 91st in the country on third and fourth down. So that's where they really seem to struggle is, again, getting off the field. And TCU can throw the football. We got two teams going at it, duking it out. We're talking about a high-flying, high-scoring game. I don't think Tech's going to lose by 7 points. If they do lose by 3, we still hit this bet. Plus 6.5, Texas Tech at TCU. I honestly think Tech actually wins this game. Like if we can't usually do this, but if we just take last week away, we pretend last week didn't happen, you would think Texas Tech will win this game by 14 points, right? Don't let 1 week taint your entire view of what the Big 12 is. Baylor. All right. Let's do it. My next best bet. I have chills. For the first time this season, I spent 4 years there. I spent 4 long years there. Added another year at the very end to work at ESPN Central Texas. Spent a lot of time in Waco. I am not pro Aranda. That man will likely be fired at the end of the year still. But by goodness, this homecoming week, a place that invented homecoming on 5th Street, still the largest homecoming parade in all of America. Those Bears, Los Osos, will defend their homecoming crowd and beat Oklahoma State by at least a touchdown. This is the famous last words. Oh, Drake, weren't you the one who just said, don't judge a team by a 1 week basis? Yeah, I am the one that said that. And I can see how you would think that I am overvaluing Baylor's game last week against Texas Tech. Maybe I am. But the analytics say that Baylor should win this game by a touchdown. Final score of 34-27. So give me those Bears. In the only opportunity the analytics have given, I told you, don't bring your emotions to an analytics fight. This is the one time where those numbers on my screen say pick the Bears. So I'm going to do it. They have a 69% chance of victory on homecoming. And that's pretty darn nice. Bears get it done by a touchdown at home. Then West Virginia at Arizona, plus 3. They will win or lose by less than 3 at Arizona. Why? In the Fire Your Coach Bowl, I don't trust Arizona, and I don't really trust West Virginia either. And the numbers would say this game will finish West Virginia 29, Arizona 28. That's about as even as you can get it. I don't know if any of us will have very much fun watching this game. I don't even know if West Virginia will have. Maybe it's Nico Marchiol. Jaheim White's kind of supposed to be back. I'm banking on Garrett Green to be there. I'm banking on Jaheim White and C.J. Donaldson and Hudson Clement and all the other guys that I thought were going to make this team really good. Is Neil Brown going to make it through the year? Probably not. Probably not, old champ. But he makes it through this week with a win against Arizona. My best bets. Give me BYU winning at UCF or plus 1.5. Kansas State minus 10 against Kansas at home. Tech at TCU plus 6.5. I'm going to pick Tech to win as well, I believe. Baylor minus 6.5 against Oklahoma State at home. Happy homecoming. That good old Baylor line. I was in choir in elementary school. West Virginia at Arizona plus 3. I think West Virginia goes on the road and wins. Brent Brennan's team is in disarray, as is Neil Brown's team. So when 2 terrible things collide, it makes one big poopy diaper. And I am going to give West Virginia, you are the winner of that diaper. Congratulations, if that's what you want. If you want to prolong the firing of Neil Brown by winning this week. Today's show, shockingly, brought to you by FanDuel. Yeah, you know why? Because we're talking about the best bets in college football this week, and FanDuel is where I'm going to go. Bet on BYU plus 1.5. At some point, BYU fans, you can't keep being like, oh, no, I'm scared this week. No, you're dominant. Vamos Cougars. Vamos Pumas. College football fans can keep the season going big with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. When you get a hunch in the middle of a game, check out the latest stats. View live play-by-play, make live bets. So much more on that same page where you place your bets. You get started with $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. FanDuel.com is America's #1 sportsbook. You go there today. You bet on BYU. Bet on Baylor. For some reason, that's what I'm going with this week. That's what I'm going with. You can do it. FanDuel.com. It's America's #1 sportsbook. Tomorrow I'll give you the full rundown, all my picks. Would you like that? I would like to do that for you. Oh, tonight's the squad show. Oh, it's like my favorite thing in the world. Gosh, I can't wait. We're gonna be mean to Baylor. We're gonna say some funny things. I think we are, just for you. Yeah, Thanks, guys. This has been It Always Will Be. Come back tonight. Locked On. Thanks. Tell your friends about it, too. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.